Hey guys, driving out here in the garden. It is January in zone 9B, so it doesn't get that cold at night. We're down to the mid 30s maybe, which is definitely not cold enough to kill off my brassicas. And anyway, this right here is my broccolini patch, and as you can see, I just went through and harvested a whole bunch of it, so I'm still harvesting, still getting fresh broccolini here in January. Happy 2023 if you're listening to this anytime recently. But my new broccolini is just starting to come in and is starting to produce now. And I've discovered broccolini this year, actually. And so I'm now sold. I'm never going to try and grow the big head broccoli ever again. And I just want to share a perspective with you. There's no judgment here or anything like that. It's just my perspective. I grew broccoli a couple of years ago, and unfortunately I was out of town when it came largely due. So when I did come back, it was absolutely covered in aphids. So I was not able to harvest any of it. And so this year when I saw broccolini, I was like, let's give it a try. And what I've discovered is that broccolini, look how little these guys are. These are already giving me edible shoots. Now I've got 4 of these, and at this stage of only a month or 2 old, I'm able to get enough between the 4 of them to feed 2 people. That has me very excited. These broccolini are 5 months old, 6 months old, something like that. And I'm still harvesting them. And I've left plenty of them to go to seed or go to flower, because when the days do get warm enough that bees come out, 50s and 60s, there's food for them in my garden. So it's kind of like training the bees. You go, always go here, you'll find something. That's my wishful thinking anyway. But what I've discovered is that, okay, one more piece to the puzzle. This little guy right here is going to be a cheddar cauliflower. And cauliflowers are head forming, kind of like broccoli is. And so what I'm discovering is that with my broccolini, I'm getting edible food really fast. And with my cauliflower, now it hasn't gotten big enough yet to actually even see an attempted head, but I have to wait for my cauliflower to form the full head before I can start eating. I mean, I could eat the leaves on it. I mean, obviously not this stage, but if it was that stage there, that's got enough leaves I could pull a leaf or 2 off of it and it wouldn't hurt the plant, and I could eat that if I absolutely had to. But with the broccolini, I don't have to do that. I can eat the parts that are my favorites, and I don't have to wait for the full head to form. With my broccoli, it was a good 3 to 4 months, maybe 4 to 5 months old, before the head started to form, just before I left. And I hadn't eaten anything off of any of those because it was all putting into one large head. And the broccolini doesn't do that. I wish I could find a cauliflower that does kind of like broccolini. It does these little heads that are tiny, tiny cauliflowers. I would do that in a heartbeat. But like I said, the reason that I am personally, for my preference and the way that I graze off my garden, is that the sooner I can pull edible bits off of the plants, the happier I am. So not having to wait for a large head and then cutting that off and then starting to have these little spears coming back, to me that's not something I want to invest my time and garden resources into. So that's just a different perspective, something to think about the way that you want to use your garden and how you and your family eats, and take into consideration the different options, because I'd never even considered broccolini until I ran into it at the my local small-time nursery, and since then I'm sold. I will never grow broccoli again. It will always be broccolini at this point. So anyway, that is my thoughts and perspectives. And okay, y'all have fun in your gardens. And if it's too cold for you, good luck with your planning for the future growing season. Bye, guys.